and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Winston A, Marzoña, aka the Swaggy Blurred, and this is SEN Live. Oh man, I haven't seen y'all in what, 5, 6 days, something crazy. It's been crazy without you. I missed you. We're so glad to have you back. And you know I'm not doing this alone. You know I had to bring the crew with me. Of course, I had to bring the sniper looking nice in his Schmoe's Harry Potter shirt. What's up, Red Sheridan?
Old school Harry Potter shirt. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Looking fly. Oh, and of course, you know when we have the most intelligent, most beautiful, most baller person in the entire world, Miss Roxy Striar's in the building. What's up, girl?
Wicked fucking smart, dude.
And then she goes and does that. Oh, good Lord.
Meditation with Roxy.
Hey, Rox, I'll trade you. If you want to take our playoff spot, you can have it, because I don't want to be in the playoffs, honestly.
I do. I really do want to take that spot.
You can have it, honestly. But before we get into all of that kind of stuff, I got to introduce the man that's behind the news, Mr. Alex Marzoña in the building.
Hello, everybody. It's the last Tuesday of 2020. We're almost there, guys. We're almost there.
We almost there, y'all. We almost there. And of course, I got to go to the guy that makes sure that this all happens. He's making sure that we looking beautiful on the screen, that we sounding crystal clear, and that we got all the sounds that we need. The loser of the matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys, Mr. Ryan Nilsen. What up, dog?
Oh, the loser. The loser. I've hung up the jerseys. It was a sad Sunday in the Nilsen household. We were just bummed, especially when you open the game with a 98-yard touchdown to Deshaun Jackson. You're like, we're going. We can't possibly lose this. And then 30 unanswered points.
If it makes you feel any better, you ultimately win, because what do we gain by going in there, losing in the first round, and then having a worse draft pick than you? So.
I don't know if the draft pick's going to mean all that much. We're in the middle of the road. They can't really change anything, and a bunch of players have binded them. But guess what? They determine who goes the destiny this week. So if they beat Washington, you guys are in. I'm happy to be here. Last night we talked Wonder Woman and DC Movie News, had an awesome reunion. And I'm a little groggy, a little tired, but I got 2 mugs of coffee here to get me through.
Bro,
double fisting today.
Wow.
Are you gonna? Do you need someone to pass off the entertainment duties? Because there's no way you're not gonna have to go and take a constitutional with that much coffee, bro.
Constitution's already been signed. It might be reread a few times.
I don't think he. Okay, all right, cool. Alex, why don't you get us into our first story, brother? What's going on with this?
All right, I shall. According to Wonder Woman 1984 director Patty Jenkins, Warner Brothers wanted the opening sequence in Themyscira or the 1980s mall scene cut from the movie. Jenkins fought for both to be included, saying, "We can't cut either. The reason that I ended up realizing that you need the Amazon is because you have to remember all the people that haven't seen the first Wonder Woman who watched this on a plane. It can be hard to understand who Diana is and what's going on without touching base there. I love the fact that you hear all of the being a great hero takes your whole life, So there was this wisdom there. It's not about being the strongest or the fastest. It's about the complex observations you have to make during life in order to become a true hero." Roxy, hi. Hey there, hello. Hope you had a good weekend. Let's hear your thoughts on the movie itself, and did you think revisiting Themyscira was a good idea?
That wasn't pre-written, Roxy. That wasn't pre-written. That was straight from the heart.
Wow. He genuinely wants to know how I feel. It's so sweet.
Of course I do.
This reminded me a lot of the story flashback a couple of years when we heard that Warner Brothers had wanted to cut No Man's Land, and Patty Jenkins fought to keep it, and obviously that was most people's favorite scene of the entire movie. So I feel like this is what strong directors do. They listen to their gut. Did all of this work for everybody? Clearly not. But absolutely Themyscira worked for me in this movie. I think she is right. There weren't that many ties between the first movie and 84. You didn't really need to see the first movie to see 84, except to have more investment in some of the relationships. And I think that Themyscira is always an amazing place to go, especially when you have a Wonder Woman movie. And not to give too many spoilers away, but the messaging of the first scene of the movie carries through the entire film, which is exactly what we see in the first Wonder Woman. It's just a little bit of a different message. And I think that the message that they decided on in this movie and the opening scene that proves that message is one of the strongest aspects of this film, and also one of the most poignant in 2020. I think it definitely was one of the stronger parts. Now, also, when they were talking about that she should have cut the mall scene, I found this out last night as we did our DC movie news special. Apparently, I'm the only one on the planet who liked the mall scene and thought that that was well performed. But to me, both these scenes really worked. One of them brought us back into Wonder Woman, and one of them brought us into the 80s.
That's fair. I agree with that, Ryan. I know you also a DC Movie News alum, man. You know you shouting it up top. I mean, what about you? What did you think about these two scenes? Do you think they could have gone? Would you have kept them? How do you feel about it?
Yeah, it's interesting. When we were talking about the movie last night, Roxy kind of turned my feelings towards that opening scene. I love the triathlon, which isn't really a spoiler. The first 3 minutes are online. Really awesome action scene. I thought a lot of the focus was on something else, but Roxy kind of pointed out, no, it's a theme that's now present throughout the whole movie. I love that scene. I think with a scene as serious as that, though, to then go right into the mall one that Roxy was just bringing up, that's where tonally it just got a little wonky for me. And I think early on, that's kind of how I was feeling about the movie, and then throughout. It doesn't really surprise me that they were considering I'm taking one of those out because of what you were just saying. Like, they wanted to remove that no man's land scene in the first movie, and that was the highlight of the film. Whereas these two, they're really two fun action scenes up top that are probably more memorable than the other action scenes in the movie. So I think that them back to back don't fit as well, but them individually are great scenes.
No, I totally get that. I know, Brett, you said you haven't seen it, so unless there's something you want to kind of throw in, I won't ask you because you haven't seen the movie yet.
This has just been a wonderful roller coaster of watching people bicker with each other. I do think this was so. I'm sure I won't hate it. I'm sure I will enjoy myself, but I think the build up to this was just so much, and I think that people were probably, as I'm seeing, expecting a lot more, and it was under a microscope too, because this was something that took so long, wanted to see it in theaters, had to come out on streaming for the most part, and it's unfortunate that it's getting so much hate, but I think I'll have fun. And you can't have an 80s movie, Roxy, without a mall scene, right? I mean, come on.
So true. It's so true. I mean, one of the first things, obviously this wasn't something that most of the public was paying attention to, but when you do a show called DC Movie News every week, sometimes we're grasping at straws for news. So one of our big stories one week was the fact that they had taken over this mall, that we knew that they were filming in this mall. So for a long time, we were speculating, what's happening in the mall? What are they doing at this mall? And I think that because of that, if then that ended up getting cut from the movie, which obviously cost them quite a pretty penny as they took over the entire effing mall and reconstructed the whole effing mall, right, then that would have been so strange. We would have been thinking, like, what the hell went wrong at the mall? What happens if the mall stays at the mall? Like, what was that? So
I was giant cast party.
Yeah,
It was a giant cast party. That's
Johnny Petruzza donated $20.
Thank you,
Hope
Johnny.
everyone has a happy new year. I turn 30 on December 31st. Make sure to raise a glass to me. Val Kilmer, Sir Ben Kingsley and Sir Anthony Hopkins, who I share the day with. Do you share your birthday with anyone? Also, can Elmo sing happy birthday, please?
Cheers to 30. Welcome to the other side. It's pretty nice over here. Just make sure to stretch before and after everything. And I share a birthday with the late great Michael Clark Duncan. He's one of my favorite actors, and he passed a while ago. But I don't know about you guys, if there's anybody you know off the top of your head.
Yeah, Harrison Ford.
Really?
I share a birthday with. Yeah.
Wow. That's funny. I get Han Solo vibes from you, so that actually checks out.
Kate Mulligan. I share my birthday with Kate Mulligan.
Oh,
real.
that's right. I forgot y'all the twins. Yes, sir.
We're March 3rd twins.
I'm Queen Latifah.
Yo,
March
that's
18th.
what. Bro, no wonder you're able to do that rapping so well, sir. Your shoot was quite amazing. There you go.
But then also Adam Levine, I'm pretty sure, is the other one.
Oh, okay.
That's just looks too. I mean.
Wow.
Alex?
I got Soldier Boy.
Yo!
There's really not that much here. Manu Ginobili. Okay, I guess I got him.
Alex, what's your birthday?
July 28th. Jimmy
Oh,
Pardo.
you share a birthday with Popo.
Oh,
Look at that.
happy birthday, Papa.
Wow, Leos are the
yeah.
best. Oh my God,
Wow.
Alex, no wonder.
You're 14?
The 13th. I'm a
13th.
Cancer. Yeah.
I'm
Cancer
really good with
top.
dates.
I mean, you were close with the Leo thing. You mean Sagittarius, but I appreciate you trying to play the game. Yo.
Me?
Yeah, about being the best.
Oh no, you just misheard me. I said Leos are the best.
No, that's what I'm saying. You were
yeah,
close.
you just can't quite
You
get
were-
there.
you were
I said,
close.
no, you couldn't just.
You were
get
like
Leo.
right there.
Sages are fine.
Wow. Tell me how you really feel.
You have to know yourself. I'm a Cancer. Cancers are a mixed ass bag.
That's
I'm not
fair.
sitting here being like Cancers are the best. Cancers are, it's a wild west with the Cancers. Leos just in general are phenomenal.
Real talk. The Sagittarius, one of our traits is the fact that we sit out here being like that. Every Sag I know goes, "You a Sag? I knew I liked your ass." That's because we thought like we were very full of ourselves. Look, I loved both of these scenes. I think that both of these scenes were pretty amazing in the film. I would have liked to have spent more time in Themyscira, to be honest with you. I think one of the highlights of the original Wonder Woman was Themyscira.
Shadow Dragon Productions donated $20.
Here we go.
The shadows of that day that I saw in my dreams, my cry could not reach them, no matter how I depict the me of tomorrow. I am drenched in wishes that won't disappear. Hi, Sniper Brett.
Hello.
I could not follow that.
Shadow Dragon
poem,
sends
right?
in poetry.
Poems, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that was
great.
beautiful. That was
cool.
beautiful. But I would have loved to have spent more time in Themyscira. I feel like that was I know a lot of people at No Man's Land that took a very close second, like a very, very close second to me in the first film. Seeing all of these powerful, diverse women just kick ass, both in their training and when the Nazis I guess it was just the Germans because it's World War I, when they crashed on the beach, was phenomenal. It was one of my highlights. With the exception of the outfits in Justice League, that was my favorite part of Justice League. Maybe my only part of Justice League I enjoyed was watching the Amazonians again kick ass. I know they got their ass handed to them a little bit by Steppenwolf, but watching them go to work. So that moment was, I wish we'd had more of that. And I love the mall scene because if you're going to introduce us to the 80s, what better way than to give us all of the standard 80s crap that went down, which pretty much was the mall, the food courts, the arcades, the shops, the outfits, all that kind of stuff. So I'm glad that they didn't get cut. I'm glad that they ended up staying in the film because they did kind of set a tone. But that would be my only complaint. I would love to have seen more at Themyscira, especially when you had Robin White and Connie Nielsen getting such high billing to be in like 2 seconds of the film. No spoilers or anything, but they're really just in this flashback. I was like, I would have loved to have seen both of them because they're so great.
Yeah, I think though, kind of similar to the first one. We get a taste, we get a splash of them, and I hope that when there is a third one that we get a little bit more. But honestly, I don't think that these are Themyscira movies. These are like, let Themyscira guide what this movie will be. But if we had stayed there longer, it would have just been because we love Robin and Connie, and that would have been why we were there. I think that Themyscira should be an HBOMAX show. I think there'd be so much potential there with like training Amazonians and like figuring out the come up while Diana's gone, because clearly that bitch never visited home. Like she did not
she
go back.
did not.
Yeah.
This is the part that I got confused about. Just because of Diana's lore that has been told multiple times in all the different iterations, I clearly haven't seen the original in a while. I thought she was exiled, but she wasn't. She just, after she went off with Steve, she just never came back.
Well, what they say to her is if you leave, you might never be able to return again. And she says, but if I stay, who will I be? And that is her decision to leave the island. We know that, one, it's challenging to find. Obviously, I think Diana would be able to find it. But when she gets to Earth or the rest of the planet, what she says is that it's her job now. It's her duty to protect the people. And what is she going to do on Themyscira? She's not going to be able to be the god of the people. So when she goes there, I think she decides that if she went back, it would be for only selfish reasons. And although we see her character struggle with that in the second movie, in general, she really tries to put others first. And I think it would be a strange character move if she was like, I'm just going to take my summers in Themyscira. Like, that's not what homie's about. So it makes sense, but like, you know, maybe a day trip at some point, you know, or that's a partnership. Like, hey, I could use some of my other Amazons, but they were not leaving with her. Remember, they were like, this is man's fucking problem. Let man figure it out, Diana. They were like not behind her on this.
Yeah, it's like Bruce Winston, man. That she's born to run.
And some people are explaining that in the chat, in the comics, it is either exile or it is she can't find her way back. If the one quote that Patty said about, like, for those that didn't see the first movie, that's why I wanted to keep that Themyscira scene in. If that's the case, then I actually would have appreciated not just the tap of her remembering this one moment in her childhood, but I would have loved to have get a tap of exactly that. Maybe she longs to be home, but she can't go home because she either can't find it, or because, like you said, she's like, it's my duty not to, like, work is never done. Like, I think that would have also kind of helped set tone.
Yeah, but maybe they didn't want to tie their hands, because if they are planning on doing some kind of Themyscira series, or if there is a Wonder Woman period of time, because what she doesn't say is, I absolutely never went back, not for a single second. So maybe they just weren't ready to make that decision yet. And that's maybe there is a pop-in little mini vacation. You know, where does she take her spring breaks? We don't know.
Well,
Patty Jenkins did say that they are working on a Amazon spin-off movie. She won't be directing it, but it will be her and Jeff Johns producing it. So it would come out before Wonder Woman 3, and that's as of last month.
I mean, I would eat that up. That would be absolutely amazing. Well, we have some other news regarding Wonder Woman, correct, Alex?
Yes, we do. Wonder Woman 1984 has taken in $85 million globally, and according to The Hollywood Reporter, nearly half of HBOMAX's subscriber base watched it on the platform. Wow. The Warner Media direct-to-consumer chief said that the movie broke records and exceeded expectations, and that interest and momentum we're seeing indicates that this viewership will likely continue well beyond the weekend. During these very difficult times, it was nice to give families the option of enjoying this uplifting film at home, where theater viewing wasn't an option. According to Deadline, as of December 8, HBO Max had 12.6 million activated subscribers.
Shadow Dragon Productions donated $20. A lonesome soul. In an old black hole. A lonesome road. What a way to go. Chasing gold. No strings to hold. In an old black hole. A lonesome soul.
Take it, man.
Thank you, Shadow.
I like that.
The movie will be available for 4 more weeks on HBO Max before becoming a paid VOD release around the world. Winston, do you think these viewership numbers can be considered a success and could influence other streaming services to follow the day and date release model?
I mean, considering what the kind of stuff they went with Gangbusters, I feel like I think they probably would. But it's hard to say. Like, you gotta go ahead and plug in some more of these franchises. You also have the standpoint that, like, again, a lot of these creators are not super happy with the surprise flank they got about the release practices. So I think that, like, while this did show that this could be very successful when you have a blockbuster movie like this, I'm curious also what Disney's numbers were for Soul. We're still in a weird space where not everybody's very happy with Warner and HBO Max right now. So I think you're still going to see some headbutting there. I mean, what do you think about this, Rox? Like, do you think that this model will continue? or do you think that you're still going to see a lot of pushback?
I think that it's so hard to understand what really happened here, because there was no world in which HBO didn't, or Warner Brothers didn't call this a success. After all of the crappy publicity they've had recently based on their own decisions, there was no world in which they didn't come out and say Wonder Woman crushed it for us, because they're able to say that because it's so not, because we don't know.
Yeah.
We really don't know. You getting more subscribers, they can use that metrics, but like, how does that translate? This being the highest seen movie in theaters since March, they can use that metrics, but we're in a global pandemic, so like, kind of no shit, Sherlock. So there's a lot of things that they can say, but really, I think this movie did well. I'm not sure, and even if it didn't, they were clearly going to claim it did, because this was them being like, look what we said worked. It works. And the people got to watch at home with their families. It's good. It's a good thing we did. And they're kind of being their own hype people right now, which I'm not mad about. It's a business, so do your thing. But I don't think we can take it super clearly. I think the future of this, to answer your question, Winston, will be based on how it actually did, which we're not going to know. That's going to be closed door conversations. They're going to be sitting there crunching numbers and think to themselves, okay, so now going forward, does this work? If we charge $5 per movie, would we have made more money or less, because we're not going to get more subscribers? If we charge $10, we can't go as much as 30. We saw what happened with Disney and Mulan. Is it $7? Do we charge no money? Should we try free subscriptions again for 30 days leading up to one of our new movies? Like, this is when business people sit down and be like, how we make money. And then they're going to be privy to those conversations, because what Warner Brothers is doing right now is like, smoke and mirrors, like, it's good. You watch with your family. Everybody loved it. Everybody loved Wonder Woman. And it's like, well, that clearly isn't what happened, but yeah, we're never going to know.
That's the thing that's been interesting, because we have been attempting to get that out of Netflix, out of Hulu, out of all of these streaming services for a while, and it is not something that, you're right, they don't just actively go, here's what it did, and someone brought up in the chat, which is also a good point, activation doesn't necessarily mean subscriptions, because there were a lot of free stuff tied to certain things that people may not have used yet. And also HBOMAX just did a massive deal over Christmas where you would pay essentially $2 a month for a year's worth of HBOMAX. So like, there's even that of like, maybe you're thinking, oh, everybody dropped that $15 a month. Well, maybe they didn't, you know what I'm saying? Maybe they did a fraction of that. So it is kind of interesting to see how this is. I mean, Brett, do you think that this news does push us towards more of the streaming rollout, knowing that we don't really know true numbers, or do you agree with Roxy? This is all smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, I agree with Roxy. It's again, this is always a hard thing to talk on, because we don't know what's going on and we don't know what the conversations were. We know a lot of people are upset about it, so there were definitely not conversations with those people, but it was all just the business aspect of it. And unfortunately, the way the world works is that business people don't give a shit about your feelings or anything. So they're just trying to make money. So yeah, it's not surprising. It's like, oh my God, I'm surprised a huge company just did this to try to make money. I think they'll just keep rolling stuff out, and I don't know. I'm still confused with the what else is coming out that they're going to charge for, because I thought they would axe that after they did Mulan.
They're charging on another one. I thought, like, because Soul dropped and you didn't have to pay extra for that. I thought it was.
Are you talking about Disney, or are you talking about Warner Brothers, or are you talking about all streaming?
One of them was, there was a movie that was going to come out that was going to be the $30 again, and I thought that was streaming.
Raya and the Last Dragon.
Yes. Right. So I thought after Mulan they had scrapped that whole. I thought they'd go, okay, the $30 thing didn't work, but maybe they have a lot of faith in this one, and then it has more of a broad, spectrum of viewers. I mean, since you've got really young to older on this one, I think that Mulan was, a little for the older children. Yeah,
it's interesting that you mentioned that, because you wonder why then they didn't then apply this to Soul. Ironically, now that you mention that, I don't know if maybe it was like, here's a Christmas present from us to everybody else. If maybe that's what it was. But it's funny because it's like you said, I'm curious why you don't keep the consistency there. Like either you're going to do it or you're not going to do it. I don't know, this back and forth. Like this movie, we're going to charge you, and then the next one we won't. I don't know.
Right.
Ryan, what do you think, man? Is this good stuff for HBO Max and streaming?
I think this is good stuff. I think this is a really unique topic. Generally, before pandemic, here comes a dark Dick Assassin just donated, sorry.
Striar to join the League of Tick Assassins. Will you join us, Roxy, in assassinating ticks? Please join us in assassinating ticks. You'd make a great tick assassin, Roxy Striar.
Who said this is?
Dick Assassin.
How do you assassinate a dick?
So you would that
If I have to ask, I probably am not very good at that.
It's you have to come and check out Blurs After Dark. We had a sexpert on, Tayomi. She came, Dr. Tayomi. She was has started a whole group called the Dick Assassins, and she actually teaches you how to. I think she has something called the. Let me pull it up. Hold on. It was like the Cowgirl Collective or something. Hold on. I'll find it. Give me a second.
All good.
But continue what you were saying, and then I'll tell Roxy.
Yeah, no, I think generally it's, hey, let's make a movie and let's get the most money at the box office. And now they're in this weird position where we have 18 movies we already made or we're in like deep production on that need to come out, and we can't use that same model. So where are we gonna pick and choose where we're gonna release them? And I think this was the safest route for this movie. Like, there's no more guarantee of getting views on a superhero movie on Christmas Day. Like, that is all the eggs in one basket. Like, this thing was going to be popular no matter what. So I definitely think that this is it's good news for Wonder Woman. I definitely think it's going to get a third one. Seeing the announcement, it makes complete sense. However, I don't take this movie as a good sign for all the other 17 to come this year on HBO Max. I think each of them are going to be very, it's going to waver in whether people are interested in them or not, because this has a built-in fan base. I don't know if the new Denzel Washington movie is going to get the same amount of hype and subscribers that Wonder Woman would on Christmas Day. I just think that it's very different. So each one is going to be a unique goal for profit for WB and HBO Max. Right. I definitely think this was the more sure thing, but there's not much to take from this for the other movies coming out, except for maybe Snyder Cut, because that's, again, the same type of fan base. That's going to be a 4-part thing. I think this is a good sign that it was popular nonetheless, because if this would be a big news story if it wasn't. But I think we're shifting gears on how to read all that, because we don't have a box office mojo for this. We're kind of taking it from the studio's word on this, just the subscriber increase.
Yeah, no, I agree with that 1,000%. Alex, how do you feel? Anything before we move on?
I mean, yeah, I echo Ryan's sentiments, and also doing the math. Like, as of December 8, they had 12.6 million activated subscribers. So, and they said nearly half of that watched it. So if we're trying to equate it to box office, so that means 6.3 million watched it. An average ticket price maybe $12. If you multiply that, it's $75.6 million worth of streams. So that would be about a total of 160 if that equated at all. So I mean, that's a pretty good number for worldwide during a good weekend.
But that's
I would argue that's
rewatches though.
Families,
exactly. And that's conservative because of the families.
Yes.
That's the biggest one for me. Is like, we have the one HBO Max account, but like myself, my girlfriend, my sister, her boyfriend, my dad, we all watched the film. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like, that's just
the lowest.
That's the conservative side. Yeah. No, for sure.
So it still did pretty well.
No, it did well. You know what else does well? When you have a fresh meal in your belly.
Yes.
Brett, you want to go ahead and tell us how we can do that, sir?
Of course. Well, you gotta get HelloFresh because in the name it says it. You get fresh, pre-measured ingredients and mouth-watering seasonal recipes delivered right to your door. HelloFresh lets you skip the trips to the grocery store. I am tired of going to the grocery store. I love HelloFresh. It makes cooking from home easy, it's fun, affordable, and it's America's #1 meal kit. Okay, so you want to save time and money this new year with HelloFresh. It's not only 46% cheaper than shopping at the local grocery store, you also get to skip the errands and order from the comfort of your pajamas. 2020 should be called Comfort from Your Pajamas Year. All right, are you looking for new ways to eat well this new year? With HelloFresh, getting nutritious home-cooked meals on your table may never be easier than especially with low-cal, vegetarian, and family-friendly recipes. Turn your New Year's resolutions into realities with low-cal, carb-smart, vegetarian, pescatarian, and other options. No matter what you choose, every single recipe is packed with fresh produce directly from farmers. I love HelloFresh. I love the whole packaging, just giving you just the right amount to cook with it. It does make cooking fun. My wife especially loves to do it, who is a self-pronounced non-cooker, but she loves to do this because it's made so easy for her, and it's great for me because I am the cooker of the family, and I get to take a little break, and she gets to have fun while doing it. So what you need to do is go to hellofresh.com/SEN10 and use code SEN10 for 10 free meals, including free shipping. Okay, that's hellofresh.com/SEN10 and use code SEN10 for 10 free meals, people, including free shipping. Go get some HelloFresh and get better for the new year.
Hey, that's all we want. That's all we want is that 2021. You just feeling good about yourself.
Yeah.
You know, get the blood pressure down, get the cholesterol down, get the energy up. You know, especially because
I like Brett calling himself the cooker of the family.
Yeah, I am.
I like that. That's cooker.
Yeah.
He wasn't ready to call himself the chef. I'm the cooker.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know me, the cooker of the family.
I kind of want to have y'all. I want to have a cook-off. I really do. Like, I kind of want to have all of us have a cook-off. Like, I got to, like, I didn't even, all I saw Roxy make was a salad, and she made that shit so fire. I was like, I can guarantee that she probably can throw down in other elements too. And I know Brett with his cast iron be throwing down. So
I'm just stressed out because you already told me the thing is, anytime you're gonna uninvite me to the fucking cookout. So
God damn it, we're back to this. We're back to this.
Oh my God.
Listen, an elephant never forgets, and boy, am I a fucking elephant these days. Like, people will say shit, and I'll be like, but remember in 2012 when you told me that, and everybody's like, are you kidding me? I'm telling you, it sticks.
See, Rox, but what I don't understand then is, girl, why aren't you the singles teams IG and Star Wars champion of the Schmoedown? I don't understand.
Trivia doesn't stick with me at all. At all. It's so funny because Steph always tells me whenever we're watching movies, I do that fucking annoying thing where we stop it and I say some shit about like, oh, but this guy was actually in the and whatever. And she's like, you know so much about all of these actors. I'm like, yeah, but if you asked me on air a single one of their name in a timed setting, I would be like, I don't know what it is. I just don't know. Something about like hearing trivia and hearing questions, my recall goes away.
It just completely evaporates. That's crazy, man. Well, the nice thing is that me and you don't have to worry about remembering those facts.
Nope.
We have players to do that for us. And we had some major Schmoedown free agency news, draft news specifically yesterday. So Ryan, I know you got the photos queued up.
We do.
We were introduced to a number of people coming into the draft. You want to run them down real quick?
Yeah, let's run them down right now. So the first one is the Rager, Rick Radis.
The Rager. I'm very curious. I mean, I wonder if he's like Hulk angry, or if he's like, I have a splinter in my finger angry. Like,
also, like, are these full-blown aviators or are they rounded? Because I need to know, what are you bringing to the table?
Yes,
like,
yes.
And apparently,
I see that like under teeth grit. You know, like this is the kind of person she's ready to hook and go, but like, what are you about, Rager? Bring on, like, what does that mean? Do you get so angry that you can answer the questions? I gotta know more.
I mean, I immediately go to Kid Cudi and I'm just like, hey, Mr. Rager. Like, that's all I can hear in my head. So it feels more of a Cudi. I do too. It feels like more of a stoner vibe to me than an angry one. So I'm very curious.
Apparently Christian really likes this guy too. That's what I've been told. But
all right.
Coming up next, we got Riley Silverman.
I love Riley.
I'm not familiar with Riley.
I effing love Riley. We did a lot of work together at Screen Junkies. And yeah, I think that, I don't know, like, this is what I'm talking about with trivia. Until you've seen somebody with trivia, but what I do know is Riley is so effing knowledgeable. So if that translates, I'm not sure. But yeah, Riley's badass.
You know what we need to do, Roxy? We need to host a combine. Like I don't know
I
about
know.
you as an NFL fan. I
know.
would love to have a Schmoedown combine with these folks.
We
Like,
kind of
cool.
do need that, but do you think that they would go for it?
I mean, it depends. If you're like, hey, Kevin Smith, Chris Jericho, we need you to do a combine, they would tell us to go fuck ourselves. But like anybody else, if they're getting involved, I would love to just, it doesn't have to be a major one. It could be like, cool, we're going to ask you 5 questions. It's the standard rules of 15 seconds of JTE. Like, I just want to see what you got. That's all.
I agree.
And then next we got Amy. Oh, we got Amy. Why isn't it going?
No, you're moving us into
Beth
the
May. Beth May.
Okay.
Listen, Beth May was incredibly impressive. Here's what I'll say. I don't know jack shit about her trivia knowledge, but what I do know is that video got my attention. She's clearly going to be great as a personality. I think that we're all looking at her right now. My early prediction is that she seems very coy-like. She seems very bubbly, up and at 'em, like quirky, like a merc. And I think but that being said, you never know, and it depends on what her trivia game is, because I think we're all looking at Beth right now.
No, 1,000%. I mean, look, I made it very clear last year when I went into this. I'm always looking for somebody with that little je ne sais quoi. She's definitely got the swag for sure, man. So it is a question about whether or not what her trivia game looks like. Because again, that's the thing that's sort of crazy, Rox, because I do the same thing. I could talk for days about certain things about movies. Like, I actually remember plots like a lockbox, but I can't remember directors' names to save my life. You know what I mean? So it will.
Yeah, and also you've got personality. You could put together a sick video of you talking around things, but that doesn't mean that you know anything about trivia.
Mm-hmm. So I'm very curious to see what she does.
Then we got Cooper Barnes entering the draft.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's the dude from. I actually worked with Cooper.
What?
This dude was on. He's on Henry Danger on Nickelodeon, and I did a sketch with him with Drew Brees that never got to see the light of day, sadly, for like a Nerf commercial.
This shirt makes me look like he did a sketch with Drew Brees. I hear what you're saying. Did you guys talk movies at all? Do we know anything? Give me the lowdown.
I mean, he's a very talented actor. He's very funny. He's got the comedic, like that kind of physical comedy thing going. He's a smart guy, so I wouldn't put it past him, but I don't know yet. I honestly don't know.
We'll have to see. And then Josh Horowitz. Open to the
Anybody?
draft. I know little to know about Josh.
I don't know him.
Well, isn't he industry professional? I think that he comes from. Does anybody have the stats on him? Because
MTV, like, Comedy Central.
Did you say MTV?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, this is the guy that does those interviews. I thought he looked familiar. This dude's interview style is so fire. It's unbelievable. He's interviewed like the biggest A-list celebrities. He's always breaking news. Like, I watch this picture doesn't look that much like him, but I watch him so often. He has a way with people that makes them feel, and he has a podcast too, I believe, that I listen to.
Okay.
Somebody can clarify on this, but he is really movie knowledgeable just by the amount of films that he has to watch, especially in like a new releases category or something. I think he'd probably be awesome. I don't know with trivia, but if the way that he's able to speak to people translates, he definitely will be a personality. He's really bubbly, fun. He goes deep. He's good. He's very good at what he does.
Okay. All right.
Happy, Sad, Confused is his podcast.
Yes.
Okay.
And he does a really good job with it. He's really talented. What a cool catch for the Schmoedown.
All right. Wow. Great to know. All right. Who else we got, man?
Frankie Alvarez coming in, another podcaster in the film world. Again, I think a lot of these we're gonna get to know them over the next couple weeks here, but just another competitor entering here.
I think that he wanted us to get to know him very clearly by the shirt and was like, I am Matt Atchity 2.0.
That is exactly what I was gonna say. Like, if you took like Matt Atchity and like Lon Harris and had them do the fusion dance, I feel like that's what you end up with.
Totally.
Exactly. And then Christina Vassallo. Vassallo. Sorry.
Vassallo. Okay. Roxy, are you familiar with her?
No, I'm not. I'm not. Obviously, I can state the obvious here that it's nice to see a lot more women entering into the draft. I think that we saw what we can do with like a newbie like Marisol. I think that this is exciting, but I need to definitely get more research because right now she looks happy, but how's she going to look after she gets her first question wrong? We got to know more.
Damn, Rox.
Hey, she's got a point. She's got a point.
Everybody else, Roxy's like, yeah, I don't know. We just got to see if they can answer the question. She's like, what happens when she loses? Like, what happens when her career is in flame?
Of all the people, doesn't she clearly look the happiest? Like, I'm not out here trying
I don't know. That Beth May photo.
Like,
Beth May looked happy as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I saw her video and she proved that she's got like that spunk. Christina might have that, but I gotta know.
I'm only noticing one nickname so far, so I'm just a little disappointed in that. That's all. I mean, you need to come in.
But I think that's the difference, because a lot of the folks coming in I know are from the industry, whether they be critics or reviewers or anything else like that. Versus I know the Rager is coming from one of the fan leagues. That I do know.
All right.
Demi
back. Let's go.
How did you eBay? That's
so Ryan, you sent out an email blast about Demi.
Yeah, a little bit of an embarrassing email.
Did you? What did you?
I was not.
Awesome.
I totally was unaware that he was on your team, Winston. For a hot second there. I am such a big fan of Demi. I think he's one of the funniest people on social media. His letterbox is hands down my favorite. The September 21st videos. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh! I just think he's one of the funniest personalities.
Oh wait, he did that one. Do you remember?
Yeah. Okay. I see now what your email said. I thought you said, "Holy shit, y'all got Dem," and I was like, first of all, I didn't realize you had wrote Demi. I missed the I, so I was like, yeah, we got all these folks. Christian announced them all yesterday. What the fuck are you talking about, Ryan? Like, now I understand what you're saying. Demi is very, very funny. It was a scheduling issue last year why we ended up having to part ways and we didn't get to see him play. But he's a good competitor, man. I mean, he held his own against.
Well, what was that scheduling issue in terms of, was it long term? Do you think it's going to be an issue this year?
I can't speak to it. I think that would be something that everybody would want to talk to Demi up front about that. I just know that like he's a hardworking dude. I mean, he was a writer on The Good Place, so he was dealing with the last season of that. And
did
then
he play Liz Shannon Miller? I think I called a match for him. Yeah,
he did play Liz Shannon Miller, and then he's a writer on the Amber Ruffin show. So I know that the man stays working. So I'm not quite sure. Like his schedule was kind of all over the place.
Yeah, he's good though. He's got a solid base of knowledge. If he can actually play, then he could make some big moves.
No, he 1,000% has got what it takes for sure. So it'll be good to see him back in there. All right, what else we got? I know we got
John Flickinger, Flick Pick.
I also worked with him at Screen Junkies.
Okay.
I mean, nothing for nothing. He knows his shit. This guy is like he's a character for one, and he watches so many effing movies. Does it translate? I don't know. He's got a very, very out there big personality, and he's going to need a manager that can really kind of like focus him, I think. But he's
that sounds cool right dude. Up your alley, Rox. That sounds 1,000% up your alley.
We got to see. Again, I'm with you, Winston, that we need some way of measuring right now because, like, I've talked movies with him. I've been on a couple of shows with him, and I know that he's got pull and he's knowledgeable. But what the hell does he know about trivia? I don't know.
Okay. And talk about a YouTube movie reviewing OG. This guy has been on there forever. He is
he's like a Jeremy Johns, Chris Stuckman type. Like, he goes back. But what we've seen. We haven't seen the YouTubers that are the original YouTubers perform as well as some of the people who are industry like Snyder, some of these writers who are up to date all the time. So I don't know. We'll have to see with him. He could be great.
Could be great.
All right. What else we got?
And then I think we're winding down here with Paul Walter Hauser.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Richard Jewell himself.
Mm-hmm. Richard
Jewell from my old job, and he has talked a lot. We talk a lot about movies during our off time, and very knowledgeable guy. He's gonna be good.
I'm like a scorned ex-lover when it comes to him because remember he was supposed to be
you were
on
supposed
that.
to do the interview and you
Yeah,
couldn't do
and
it.
you guys
Oh,
know
no.
I like when I research people,
that's
I do like
right.
thousands of hours of research. And so I've been in love with him for a really long time. You know, like obviously Cobra Kai and I, Tanya, and Richard Jewell and all the incredible things that he has worked on. But I just think he's truly one of the greats. And I've listened to I've logged probably 1,000 hours of podcasts of hearing him as a guest on there. This man is like the real deal. He is a diehard Christian, but like in the way that he is super duper non-judgmental. He is in love with movies. Like he does this because he absolutely loves them, and for no other reason. I believe that his knowledge cuts very deep because when listening to him, he started pulling things back from like the 70s that were random references that I had to start looking up on IMDb.
Wow.
Like, what the fuck is this guy talking about right now? So he's definitely somebody to watch. I think that he could be like an excellent player, and he doesn't do things he's not dedicated to. I don't want to talk him up too much because obviously I've got my eye on him.
Sure.
But I think that Paul Walter Hauser could be really the real deal here.
All right, that would be dope to see. Any more, or is that all of them?
Hide your ice skates. Let's see. He also had. We have Chris Van Vliet.
Yeah. So I think we follow each other on Twitter. I'm not sure, but this guy I believe is coming from the WWE world. And you know, when that happens, we have characters. I think that he's a WWE, like a reporter. Oh, AEW. Thank you, AEW world. So he definitely understands the showmanship of this. Now, does he know anything about movies? I have no idea. I mean,
he might usurp the kid potentially as the most lethal Canadian competitor in the Schmoedown. He is Canadian and he's very proud of it. So this will be interesting to see with him.
As long as he doesn't breathe as heavy as the kid, I think we're okay.
Eric
I do worry.
Whiteley.
Eric Whiteley
From Blind Wave.
Well,
Blind
when you
Wave.
you have your own logo, you already sold me.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
That is a very solid point.
Also, I like this facial expression.
Yeah.
Oh,
Everybody
wow.
else was all like, "Oh, I'm so happy." No, this is like I mean business. I'm ready to fight. So
That's what I'm saying. Winston, like this is the face of somebody. If he has a loss, he's just gonna like grin and bear it. Like
I don't know. He kind of looks like he's 2 seconds away from bursting out into tears.
That
He literally looks like somebody just took his seat on the subway and he really wanted it. Like,
well, sometimes when you're really wanting something can be a good thing, Winston.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true.
Kofi Outlaw.
Okay.
I see him all over Twitter. So he's very like up to date, active, constantly in the know. I think that this definitely is somebody that I'm sure Christian's had his eye on for a minute, and it will be interesting to see how he does in the Schmoedown.
I know Roca commented on having 2 outlaws in the
right. Which wasn't there a third dude trying to call himself the outlaw or something with he had like a Yoshi egg for a face or something like that.
Are you making fun of his face or what?
No. There was a guy that did like a Yoshi egg video.
Huh.
Put it in the Facebook group. I don't know. Maybe I'm.
I don't actually know what you're trying to
investigate.
There's a lot going on. All right.
Sonny and Kat, a duo.
A team. How do you come in as a team? How does that work? That doesn't work, Momo.
This is what I called when I was on the phone with Christian. I said I don't actually know who they are. I think that these are actors that are co-stars on some show together or something. Did I make that? Did I make that up?
Sonny and Kat.
You can't come in as a team. So and Wildberries knows.
Oh, they're a YouTube group.
A YouTube.
Okay. They're from Copenhagen.
I mean, talk about like a very striking looking group. Hey, nothing for nothing. Not too shabby. I have no idea who they are. I'm gonna have to do my research. But if he's gonna put them as the only duo, then there must be a big reason to sign them.
Look, I'm looking at the stuff that they review on their channel. They got The Mandalorian, Avatar: The Last Airbender, Naruto, The Boys, Band of Brothers, The Expanse. I kind of F's with them.
I just heard you list. I heard you list a lot of TV shows, Winston.
No, I understand that, but I F's with them as far as like their taste in media. So yes, I do need to see what they can do with movies, but that's a good start. That they at least have good taste.
Anybody with that bowl piercing too is ready to fucking fight.
Oh yeah.
Roxy, why are you ready to have your entire team scrap with everybody the fuck else?
I am from Boston. Are you unclear on that?
There we go.
I mean, look. I have to shove down my Southern and Black tendencies to also want to scrap, man. So, but also, someone brought up a good point. Sonny and Kat versus Sabrina and Hannah. They said they want to be the new power couple in the Schmoedown. This could be interesting.
This could be interesting.
That didn't work out very well for me.
All right. Anybody else, or is that it?
That is it for the images I was sent.
Okay, cool.
For the new Schmoedown entering the draft, these are the new competitors.
Wow, I mean that is a lot of people. That is a lot of people. And the last bit of news coming out of that, and we'll move on to back to our regular news, is the fact that we do have expanded rosters. What's up?
Sorry, there was one more. Sean Chandler, who's also a big YouTuber viewer, entering the draft. We can throw the image up. I don't think you guys will be able to see it, but this is him. All the YouTube viewers will be able to see him. Sean Chandler, great channel.
I also think there were a couple more. Ryan, were you not given the couple more that?
Yeah, I see a couple too. I see Cole Wright. And
I'm talking about Abby and Tom. You know,
I'm not familiar with these last. Oh,
you know what? I have them right here. Sorry about that, you guys.
Okay,
There's about 5 more. We'll start with Cole Wright. Cole Wright. I'll share them with you guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, bro.
Cole Wright. Another competitor right here. I've just showed you guys Sean Chandler, by the way. Let me just go back to him real quick. Sean, you probably recognize him. He has the coolest thumbnails on YouTube right now.
Okay.
Oh, cool. I like a man with a good thumbnail. And also, speaking of things I like the fact that Cole's last name is Wright. There's a lot you can do with that. I don't know much about him, but when you're right, you can never be wrong.
Or like the right way or the highway, you know, something like that. Like there's so much. There's a lot you could play with.
Mine was better, but yours was okay.
First of all, how dare you?
Or like Cole comes correct, or like what? No, that's a different word. Let's see.
Yo, that's a cold mother. Shut your mouth. You know, like there's plenty you can do with his name.
All right.
Who else we got?
Embarrassingly
this was
enough,
coming in. No, it's okay. This is Abby Corinne.
Okay.
And I don't know anything other than looks like she's very happy to be here. So we want somebody who's ready to play. I think that right now all of the newbies are being highly vetted, and she must have had a really great audition. So I don't know her personally, but yeah, that's what I got so far. Winston, any thoughts?
I mean, I like her braids. I mean, her hair looking tight. So, you know, that must mean that she keeps everything in her life tight. So I'm about it. I feel like I feel the energy just like coming off her right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Come in and mix it up, man.
Exactly. I agree.
What
So
else?
this is Amon Frost.
Okay.
Amon Frost looks like she has the intensity of somebody who's ready to win this game. I don't know.
In the background, is that a Christmas card or a holiday card?
I don't know. Christian did send us the proper draft images for these, but I think Ryan's just trying to out her as somebody that likes plants and.
I don't think Christian sent me the proper ones for these.
Yeah, I didn't get the proper ones either.
Unfortunately, but yeah, we don't know if it's a Christmas card or not, but there's definitely writing. And then winding down here, those are all the images I got you guys from the email. So I think we have, those are all the competitors I was sent, rather.
Can you guys hear me? My internet went unstable.
No, you're good.
It looks like in that picture, that looks like Israel to me or something.
We will have to ask. Or is everyone? I think we lost a few people for some reason.
I'm here.
I have perfect connection right now, but
can you hear me, Ryan?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Oh, wow. Do they all live in the same area?
They might. Sorry, guys. We had a brief. I think a few people on the Zoom had a brief technical out. Oh, here comes
Roxy's
Roxy.
back.
Roxy, did you lose internet for a moment there.
Ryan, how's your internet?
Mine's perfect. Our connection's fine on my end.
I just don't know that it would make sense that both Winston, Alex, and I all lost at the same time. I think maybe there was like a brief outage.
Everything looks perfect on my end.
I don't know.
Let's see, Winston.
It was the power of him on. We don't know.
Oh, internet outage, says Winston. Here comes Winston.
Oh, yeah, here comes.
Okay, what happened? Did everybody go, or is it just
I don't
me?
know. No,
Are you all right down the block from each other? Are y'all sharing Spectrum?
Yeah.
We're all on Spectrum, yeah.
I do have Spectrum, and
yeah.
I'm sorry if they ever sponsor this show, but Spectrum, what the fuck?
Real talk. Y'all have had a whole year of everybody in the house, and y'all can't figure out to just let everybody internet work. Like, shit.
It's like unbelievable.
Yeah. Again,
what a perfect time to pause her to show her. I think they might be breaking in on your. Here, I've been considering, because I can only get with Uverse, I can only get 50 megabytes per second. Like, that's my top limit. So I was like, oh, I want to get Spectrum, but I've heard so much bad reviews.
No.
Yeah.
No.
If you can avoid it, don't. Yeah.
I'm getting my internet is unstable again.
I am too.
So, you know what, Spectrum? I'll say it once, I'll say it twice. Suck my dick. This has been the battle of a lifetime. Do you guys understand that? And just a brief aside, I understand we're talking about more important things right now, but just let me have the floor for one fucking second here.
Right ahead.
I pay for, and I just want to be clear about this, 4 internets. I pay for 4 fucking internets. I pay for Spectrum. I pay for AT&T. I pay for 2 different fucking Verizon hotspots. Yet I can't fucking keep internet. What more can I do? I am paying so much money a month for fucking internet. Spectrum, do your job. Why do I have to pay for 3 other ones? And by the way, those ones don't work any better. It's
She freezes.
God damn.
Right on
They're
top.
silencing her.
Do
not silence her.
They're trying to silence her for sure, and I'm trying to like load a browser myself, and it's not working. Like I'm hanging on by a thread. It sounds like, yeah, man, it's some old bullshit, and they need to figure this shit out, because especially with the workplace world being like it is. Exactly. Get your fucking shit together, Spectrum. This is some old bullshit. We all need to complain to our city councilman. I mean,
Roxy,
that's not a bad idea, but what are they going to do, though?
Perfectly right at the end of your rant.
Yeah, it was like they came in and they said,
they're trying to
down.
silence me. They're trying to silence me.
Some old bullshit, man. Absolutely some fucking bullshit. All right, well, we have a few other stories we want to get to, and then we got to get to y'all Streamlabs. Please keep sending them in, Streamlabs super chats. Help us out. You know that's how we stay on the show. If you enjoy having myself and Ryan and Brett and Alex and Roxy when Spectrum isn't trying to shut her up, which is some bullshit. Together, sending them super chats and them Streamlabs, y'all. They mean the world to us. Them Schmoebots. So yeah, Alex, what else we got, man?
All right, the Marvel Cinematic Universe has cast a bevy of accoladed actresses and actors in their multiple movies and TV shows, but one yet to appear is Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Rumors have it that JGL may be in talks for a role in the ever-expanding universe. But Winston, do you think he could play a smaller character actor type role like Martin Freeman inhabits? Or could Levitt, aka the Jiggle, be a Reed Richards or Professor X major figure type?
Did you just say the Jiggle?
The Jiggle.
Who calls him the Jiggle?
JGL, the Jiggle.
All right, I need a minute to process that. I think that you don't waste.
Queefor_Sutherland donated $20. Hey guys, have to say that I loved Soul and felt like the message it was trying to send was more effective than what Wonder Woman 84 was trying to send. I know they are different movies and genres, but just feel like Soul was a better movie overall.
Which is fair. I think everybody's allowed to that opinion, and I personally did like Soul better than Wonder Woman, but I enjoyed Wonder Woman too. So I could see that both ways.
I think that's a totally fine thing to do right now. Compare Soul to Wonder Woman because they came out at the same time. What's not dope at all is how everybody immediately was like, "But what do you like better, Wonder Woman or Captain Marvel?" What?
Right.
Prince Tatwa wasn't promised donated $20. Has everyone seen the Lil Bonnie and the Juice Season 2 trailer? Season is gonna be fantastic. If you haven't, I recommend doing so immediately.
Oh, no.
Or can we play it on the show? Joshua Barnett donated $20.
Thank
For
you.
fucking internet's people.
For
Yeah.
fucking internet.
Yeah.
For
Dude,
fucking
that's bullshit. For the fact that you have to, so you're doing that because, do you use the AT&T and the Spectrum at the same time? Like, how does that work, right?
No, when one goes out, I have to switch to the other one. The AT&T one ended up being such a disaster that I completely can't even touch it right now, but I'm still on contract with them. My best ones are my Verizon ones. The hotspots work like gold, but they cost me so much
fortune.
money.
I'm sure they cost you a fortune.
But they're a fortune. I'm paying more in internet than I'm making to use my internet, so that's not solid.
That's not great.
Not a good business plan, Rox. Not a good business.
All right, but back to the
jiggle.
The jiggle.
The jiggle.
Oh my god.
What was the question that we were asked by that super chat?
The question was, have we seen the Little Bobby and the Juice trailer?
Oh, right. We definitely can't play that on this show. I don't think Schmoedown would ever let us on air again. And I also go support him in all of his endeavors, but what the fuck is he doing? It's unbelievable. Like, what is happening with Tom Dagnino? This show is wild.
I haven't seen the trailer.
Little Bobby, I got my first taste of Little Bobby and the Juice this past weekend, and my god.
When a goldfish here. When a goldfish here.
When a goldfish here. But the jiggle, I would say that he's too big of a name and too good of an actor to put him in a smaller bit role. He doesn't maybe necessarily need to be like, say, a marquee name like an Iron Man or something like that, but put him in an X-Men, put him in a Fantastic Four as part of a super team and let him cook, man. Like, he is so talented. He just got it. I hope that he does. I mean, Ryan, where would you want to see the jiggle? Where would you want to see him end up?
I don't know where I'd want to see him end up, man. The jiggle. I need more of these names. I want to see that name end up more around other places.
Alex had thought up that one last night, has been waiting for this moment since we started the show. He's like, okay, the story where I'm going to call him the Jiggle is coming up! That's not a name anybody calls him, right?
I think it's
someone's
just
done
Alex.
it as a bit before.
I think it has to just be Alex.
It has to just be that.
somewhere.
That's where I want to. That's my answer then. So just right here in Alex's bedroom on SEN Live.
Yeah, I want him to now take on that nickname. Whatever he's in, I want him to be forever known as the Jiggle.
If any of us ever interview him, we do have to ask him.
If he goes by the Jiggle.
Like, have you ever, or would you ever think about going by Jiggle?
What nickname did you want to go by, Rox?
I have a lot of them, but
No, I know
RJ.
there was one in particular.
Chunk.
RJ.
Chunk.
Huh?
Chunk.
Oh,
Chunk.
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 Chunk. You want to go by Chunk?
You guys haven't heard my whole theory on Chunk?
No.
Oh.
Wow. Yeah, I always wanted to go. So when I was a kid, I wanted to go by Skittles, but that didn't stick. And then when I was
Did you
a
eat
teenager,
Skittles?
Yeah, a lot.
Oh, okay.
I love Skittles. And I could stick 3 in my belly button. It's a whole thing. But I wanted to go and then my teenage years, I wanted to start going by Chunk because theory, if you'd have never met me before and people are like, oh, our friend Chunk is coming. And then I walk in, I'm immediately hot because what you were picturing was Chunk. And then I show up and I'm like, that like puts me way higher than Chunk.
Nice.
So I feel like that was a smart nickname. And also, how dope is it, like, if you're like drinking or whatever, and people are like Chunk, 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 Chunk.
I feel like that's bound to backfire. Like I would call myself Quasimodo and then walk in and feel a lot better about myself.
Yes.
I don't
You're
know.
getting it. That was the theory.
Quaz.
I'm also just down to be like, yo, Winston in the building. Yo, it's Amon. What's up, son? Like, that's fine by me. Like, yo, Roxy just sounds dope. Like Roxy, like has like a certain ring to
Yeah,
it.
but that's my name. Like, if people were
I
just
thought your name was Roxanne.
yeah,
though.
yeah, but like it's just nobody's like, what a cool nickname Roxy is. Like Roxy's a dope name for sure, but Chunk's cooler.
Well, you call going by the rock stars, like being a rock star to me has always been.
Yeah, that's
badass
great.
as fuck.
That's great. But if who led the rock stars was Chunk,
Okay. All right.
JG
Where do you
on
want to
this,
see? Where do you want to see Jiggle end up in the MCU, Roxy?
Don't call her Jiggle. I made that mistake.
yeah.
Don't call.
Wait, no. Roxy, I'm sorry, Chunk. Where would you like to see
Yes.
Jiggle end up in the MCU?
I don't think, to answer Alex's question, I don't think he would take really a minor role. I don't see him being like that diehard of a fan that he's like whatever it takes to just be in the MCU. So I do think that it would need to be something pretty massive. And I don't know. I think people say this often, but when we see a lot of good guys, sometimes it'd be cool to see them as a villain. He's very, very. He's an excellent actor, so I think he could pull off really whatever he wants to. There's a lot of different places that I could picture him. He, I think, is one of those names, kind of like some of the Chris's or whatever. There's a lot of plug and play you can do. He's one of those people who could be a lot of characters. He's not, I don't mean this in any negative way. He's not that unique that it's like the only role he could play is this one role. There's a lot of roles that are written for Jiggle types. And, I could see him in a bunch of different things.
It would be interesting, to be honest with you. Potentially,
Adrian
Dr.
Soto
Doom.
donated $100.
Wow.
I
Wow,
want to
thank
thank you
you.
all in the SEN crew for getting everyone, including myself, through 2020. For 5 days a week we could see a bunch of talented people just have a great time on an amazing show. I wish you all nothing but the best in the new year.
Thank you. I
Also
appreciate
with
that.
you.
Thank you so much for that amazing donation, and happy 2021 to you as well. I would love to see him as Dr. Doom, actually.
Ooh.
I actually feel like seeing him as a young Victor Von Doom on the outside, but then knowing he's the one behind the mask afterwards, I think he would kill it.
That's
He has
really
played Cobra Commander in G.I. Joe, Rise of Cobra, so you could see him going kind of wild with that, too.
Yeah,
And he's
for sure.
he's dipped his toe in the genre with Dark Knight Rises. I think he was on that Netflix Power movie with Jamie
Project
Foxx. And he was gonna do Sandman for DC for a while, which I don't
Yeah.
even know if that's still in the pipeline. But
I don't think so.
yeah, so
To me, he's
fits the
kind of he's a method actor and kind of weird and very determined, So I feel like a villain role would fit best for him. I just watched him in The Walk, and he's going pretty wild with his accent there. But I mean, he learned how to do all the wire walking, so I just hope that if he is Doctor Doom, he doesn't go too crazy with that. But I think he would do well in a supporting role because Marvel seems to be hiring more up and comers in their leads so that they can pump them up more. But let's see,
and also
he's
pay a
only...
little less.
Yeah, exactly. And he's 39, so like I can see him being a mentor as well.
I'd actually rather see him direct in the MCU than necessarily act. And if he does act, be like pull a Jon Favreau maybe, where you're a side role. But I thought he did such a great job directing Don John. I'd love to see him direct another film.
Yeah.
I like that when Ryan was about to say that, all he said was hot, and I was like, I agree.
I tried to like pull up a bunch of photos of him and just to see if he has really any other look, but he kind of just had that same standard pretty boy look about
Hot.
it.
Mhm.
So like I'm trying.
That's what I'm saying, but a lot of roles are written that way. Like, it's not like, where do we place him? It's like he's a hot young thing.
He could be the new Scott Summers. I could see him as Cyclops.
Ooh, Cyclops.
What
Yeah.
are they doing with Cyclops?
They haven't done anything yet with the X-Men, but they're obviously going to be reviving them down the road. So I'm saying if you're in talks and you already kind of have a lot of your stuff set, why not let him come in and be, the new Scott Summers? Like, especially because we've seen in the comics recently Scott go from being the good boy, like Boy Scout, to like man, fuck y'all. I'm gonna take the Phoenix Force and kill everybody if I have to. I don't give a shit. Like, I think that giving him that range to dip between hero and villain would actually be pretty fun to see him do that.
Yeah,
I just want to see him play somebody called the Jiggle, and then I'm happy.
Oh man, do we have any other news, Alex, that we need to get to?
Yeah, Metacritic has released their list of movies with the top 10 ratings of 2020. I phrase it like that because multiple movies are listed with the same Metacritic score, which is determined by the average of critics' actual score of their review, rather than Rotten Tomatoes' aggregation of positive and negative reviews. Topping the list is Nomadland with a score of 96 out of 100, with Small Axe, Lovers Rock, and Collective receiving 95s. Other films on the list are David Byrne's American Utopia, Never Rarely, Sometimes Always, Time, Hamilton, Mangrove are the ones that got 90s and above. Winston, what do you think of this? And do you have your top 10 of the year so far?
That's something that we need to do, and I'm realizing, Rox, I'm sure you would probably do, unless you have it on hand, what your top 10 of the year are.
Only TV. I don't have movies right now.
You don't have movies right now?
But this is the first time ever, like in so many years, maybe in 10 years of me being out here and doing this, that I have seen 2 of the movies that Alex just named.
Yeah,
That is so weird for me. Like, usually I am on top of it. I love independent films. If something is good, I really make an effort to see it. But like, I've heard of a bunch of those. Some of them I never even heard of. Right. And I have literally seen next to none. And that is disturbing.
It's disturbing. I agree with you. I've seen one of those films in Hamilton. I have heard of all the rest of them with the exception of 2. But I knew nothing about those. The next one I see on this list here is Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, which I plan on watching in the next day or so. But it's kind of crazy to think that I don't know most of these films. I was gonna say, since we're coming to the end of the year, if people don't have their 10, why don't we make sure? Obviously, Rox, I know today is your day, and that's why I was asking if maybe you had it. But we should try and get our top 10s by Thursday on New Year's Eve. I don't know if you want to pop in real quick and give your top 10 rocks on Thursday.
Love that. Love that idea.
So nobody's seen the Nomadland, the one that's like 96 out of 100.
I did see it.
Oh, you
and
did?
It's
okay.
Probably my, I'm not going to spoil my favorite of the year, but that's hard to beat, man. That movie blew my mind.
How many of these have you seen, Ryan?
I've seen, from the ones that Alex listed, I saw all of them except for Collective and Time.
Wow.
Dude.
And how, Ryan? How are you seeing?
Where were these? Yeah.
Okay, so it's hard it's hard to do this now, but a lot of bootlegs, a lot of festivals were doing their screenings and their festivals online. And if you reserved a screener early enough, it was open to the public. So you could pay $10, $12 sometimes, and then you would have a 4-hour window to watch one of these. It wasn't, the results varied. Sometimes it was really great quality. It was a Vimeo link. Other times, everyone's streaming simultaneously from one thing, and it paused every 10 seconds, and it's brutal. But I really was passionate about doing this. The Small Axe movies, they've been coming out every week for the past 5 weeks, and they're just incredible. So I'm just prioritizing them every Friday to watch. And a lot of these, they came out earlier in the year. I think I'm so used to waiting till the end of the year, and all these are going to come out, but a lot of them are already on streaming platforms. But I was lucky enough to get them at some festivals.
Wow.
I weirdly had I'm going to have a hard time deciding my top 10 because I've seen a lot of movies that I've loved. And so, like, I understand, like, all these movies getting their ratings, so.
You got to try, man. You got to try, son.
Try it.
They also had some TV too, which is interesting.
Yeah, they had City So Real, Pen 15 Season 2, Better Call Saul Season 5, My Brilliant Friend as well. BoJack Horseman and The Last Dance are in their top 5.
Nice.
They had the Parks and Rec special at 6.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty good, man. It was nice. It was fun.
It was fine, but in a year in which we had some of the best television I've ever seen, That is-
Amen. Yeah.
But no, I get that, but this is based off of the overall scores of everything that came in. So that's not knocking anything else. It's just from the fact that also is the Good Fight that they have in there, is that a real show, or is that supposed to be The Good Place?
No, the
The
Good Fight
is
a show.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like you said, Winston, what's weird is in that list, some of them are specific episodes, and then others are whole seasons. So that's where I'm a little
episodes. Really?
Right. Yeah. So Pen 15, it's just season 2. Better Call Saul is season 5, episode 2. BoJack is season 6, episode 5.
Where? I see
Yeah.
Better Call Saul season 5. I don't see anything. You're looking at the same article I am, right?
Yeah. Season 6.5. It's
Oh, you know what? No, I'm wrong. They split the season. My bad. I thought that was the episode number. I know BoJack season 6 was split into 2 parts.
Yeah. No, they split it into 2 parts. I was like, what are you talking about, bro?
I saw 0.5, and I'm like, why are...
What I will say is,
yeah,
did any of you guys watch Pen 15?
I
is that good?
haven't yet.
I
heard
can't
it's
wrap
good.
this show hard enough. This show is excellent. It is the most bizarro premise that I've seen in a show in a really long time. For those of you guys who do not know, it's a comedy duo, Maya and Anna, and they are women in their 30s that are playing 8th graders, but everybody else around them is 8th graders. And it is about like coming up, and one of them is Japanese and like coming up with in a predominantly white town, but the 2 of them are like these 30-year-olds that end up, you like believe that they're in 8th grade. It's crazy. It's so funny. It's so poignant. This show is like unlike anything I've ever seen, and it's not getting watched the way that it should be. So this show is like magic.
Where is it available?
It's Hulu.
It's Hulu. Got it.
Mm-hmm. It's
Yeah,
a
it's
Hulu
Hulu.
original, yeah.
It's super duper worth your time. It's really good. To me, it is as good as Broad City, if not better, in its best moments. And because it has more weight, they really try to like ground the episodes. It's very good.
Yeah,
Awesome.
No, for sure.
Awesome.
I'm looking
Yeah.
at the rest of this list too. I love that P Valley made it up there. P Valley is incredible.
Can I throw out though?
Yeah,
Queen's Gambit.
it's in there. It's again. This is, I guess, the overall like average scores, right? So they list down below shows that were talked about. I May Destroy You, Better Call Saul, Queen's Gambit, Ted Lasso, Normal People, Miss America, What We Do in the Shadows, Schitt's Creek, How To with John Wilson, The Mandalorian, The Crown, The Last Dance, The Good Lord Bird,
Top 10.
BoJack, Better Things, Pen 15, The Boys, The Great City, So Real, Lovecraft Country, P Valley, The Good Place, Never Have I Ever, The Babysitter's Club, I Hate Susie, and Harley Quinn. So
I've
you're in
seen
there.
most of those actually. So we know where I spent my time this year. But Ryan, why did you say Queen's Gambit? Because you wish that it was there?
I think top 10 easily. I mean, this is the most talked about show this year. Maybe
It really
after
is. I don't
Mandalorian.
get it. I don't get it.
Were you not
Is
as
it
big a fan?
though? I don't.
It was a really solid show. But
Yeah.
to me, what this show screamed to me was a bunch of people who don't usually watch TV thinking that this is what great TV is. Because it was really good. It was a prestigious drama. It was well performed. It was a really good show. But everybody being like, "This is the best show on TV," I'm
I
like,
don't know
"You
if-
guys are not watching TV."
I was gonna say, like, I have seen just the beginning of it and I like it so far and I can't wait to get into it fully. But come on, man, Schitt's Creek was insane. The Mandalorian was insane. The Last Dance was insane.
Insane.
Ozark?
never
Wasn't
stop talking-
Ozark?
Ozark was
Ozark this-
insane.
Ozark.
Insane. That's my number one.
Lovecraft Country, people were talking about
Yes.
that. The ending of The Good Place was crazy, and Real
Yes.
Talk, Never Have I Ever was phenomenal.
amazing.
And if you
Amazing.
haven't seen Harley Quinn, I cannot speak
so
enough
good.
of how good Harley Quinn was.
It's the best animated show out there. That's what I'm saying,
Mhm.
Winston. Like every show you just named was much better than Queen's Gambit. So Queen's Gambit was totally solid, and I would watch it again. I thought it was a really good show, but everybody who was like, "This is what TV should be," it's like,
Then you weren't watching TV.
I-
You had all this time to watch TV.
I'm with Ryan. I loved the hell out of it. I don't know. I don't think I would say this is what all television should be, but I thought it was a really great show. And I heard a lot of comments that it was slow, and I hate slow shows. And this one kept me glued to the top. I don't know what it was. There was something, and I've said it, I hate chess. I never want to play chess. I have no interest in, after watching the show, playing chess. It seems like a boring and very confusing game to me, and I still found this to be an interesting and fun show.
Yeah,
I think
it was.
Unlike, I'm not saying that this is a thing that remade the wheel. This isn't changing television forever, but I think as a show that literally everyone was talking about, I'd even say as much as like The Last Dance, where I'm seeing people from all age groups talking about this nonstop. Are you seeing it? Like, this is the only show on this list that I remember I stayed up like 5 hours straight because I just had to see what happened next.
This year was defined by Tiger King and Queen's Gambit. I mean, those were the two biggest shows that people were talking about. King. And in a year in which that took place, I can't say this enough. I cannot emphasize this enough. Queen's Gambit was really good.
Yeah.
It was a really good show. But that's kind of like, it wasn't the be all end all. It was so weird that everybody was like. I'm just
seeing Mrs. America in the top 10. I'm seeing like Lenox Hill and the Parks and Rec special. I'm like, okay, those are all great, but I kind of already forgot about what happened in the majority of those shows. I'm just arguing for a top 10 spot.
I guess that again, if I'm not mistaken, nobody said, okay, we're going to put our 10 in this regard. This is based off of average scores of everybody that reviewed it. That's the thing that you have to keep in mind. So that being said, there's probably a number of people that did say good things about Queen's Gambit, but more people collectively were like, BoJack Horseman's finale was that ish. You know what I mean? I think that's the thing to keep in mind. This isn't average, man. This isn't just like,
Yeah, that's a great point. I absolutely agree.
Roxy, quick question. My son's turning 14.
Yeah.
And is in the 7th grade. Is it too adultish? It's not something that would help him with the coming of age process. It's a little adultish, do you think?
It is pretty adultish. Honestly, I would say when your daughter gets there, because it does deal with like first periods and like things like that at this age your son might be like, what is happening here? Because it is more, but I do think that men will appreciate the show, but at an older age.
Okay.
Yeah. Check it out though, Brett, though, and see, because I don't understand children like at all. So
but I think you'd have a good gauge of being a child at that age and knowing that if you would have watched it at 13,
yeah, but like
it might have been.
I mean, my parents were like rock stars, so I watched everything, like everything. I mean, I was allowed to watch R-rated movies as soon as I learned what R-rated movies were. So I'm not the best. I'm not the best gauge of things.
And in my day, the ratings were all fucked up because I shouldn't have been watching Revenge of the Nerds and, things like that at the age I was.
If we're going to call Wonder Woman a rape movie, then we have to call that a rape movie.
Yeah, right? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Well, I figured out what The Good Fight is. I realized that this is a spin-off of The Good
Wife. Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
Word. There's some video games too, but we won't get super deep into that.
What about Handmaid's Tale?
So good.
They didn't drop anything.
So good, but not this year.
Oh, that wasn't this year? Oh,
right.
The years are just
I don't think so.
What year is it?
To my knowledge, that's also why Cobra Kai wasn't in this conversation. Because to my knowledge, Cobra Kai dropped last year, technically. So
it just got put on Netflix this year. Yeah,
exactly. It hit Netflix this year, but it didn't drop a season this year.
And if you haven't checked out How To with John Wilson on HBO, one of the best shows I've seen.
I've seen one episode. I loved it. It was the starting up conversations with people. It was like the
just how crazy it gets.
Oh god, it's such I definitely took that recommendation. We watched one. We haven't jumped back into it, but definitely a fun little like you said. Yeah.
All right, y'all. So we've got about 30 minutes left. That means we got to get to the Streamlabs and these super chats. We've been having a lot of fun debating what we thought our favorite stuff is. So keep sending them in. Tell us what your top shows, your top movies. Again, I'll hit up Roka because I know Roka is hosting tomorrow as well. For the last 2 days of 2020, tell us what your top movies were and your top TV shows. Send them in. We want to know. We're very, very curious. But with that, Alex, start reading them off for us, man.
Actually, first, if that's all right, I want to ask Roxy something.
Yeah, go for it.
Do you got any resis for the New Year's? I know it's your last show of the year, so I was wondering if you got any resis for us, and how did you do with the ones you said last year?
Oh, resolutions. I
Yeah,
thought you meant
resi.
reservations. I was
Oh,
like,
I-
Alex,
No, resi.
everything's
Resi
closed.
rocks.
Yeah, we can't.
Come on.
I
You
thought
know-
he meant recommendations, and I was like,
No.
but wouldn't
I
you just
thought
say
he meant
Rex, bro?
resumes. I was.
Resi, and the reason I thought you meant that is like the number one joke in the Jewish community all the time is what do Jewish women make for dinner? Resis.
Damn.
That was my grandmother's
Okay,
thing. She
50
says,
cents.
"I don't make dinner. I
Dinner,
make
like
reservations."
So I literally was like, look at Alex stepping into my community. And hey, I make a damn good reservation if you ask me. I don't know yet. It was interesting because you know how sometimes you see yourself one way and then somebody will say something that changes your mind and you're like, huh, maybe that shouldn't be what I'm doing. So I was talking to a few friends and I always pick a word of the year. And I was like, okay, my word of 2021 is going to be focus. Like, I just need to fucking focus. And the people in my life were like, you are literally the most focused person. Nothing distracts you. All you do is work. You don't do anything else. That is the opposite of what you need your word to be. What you're gauging right now is your situation is not accurate, and working harder is not going to make you more successful. You need to fucking breathe. So I was like, huh, interesting, because I'm ready to like double down, like fucking just like balls to the wall. Fuck it, I don't need anybody. I'm just gonna focus on my career and focus. And they were just like, that is like so the wrong path. So I'm kind of like really spending the next couple of days thinking about this because, as you guys may or may not know, I don't make goals that I can't hit. Like with my own, you know, I did that 365 days of Instagram photos. I've been going live every single day at the Roxy for 289 days. Like if I say I'm going to do something, I do it. I'm not a goal creator. Like this year, I'm going to win an Emmy because I actually can't control that. I only try to make resolutions that I can control. And so I take them very seriously. And so I have to try to figure out now, like, what is that good balance and is it more and what really should be my word to sculpt it. So I know that doesn't give you an answer, Alex, but that's kind of how I'm thinking about things right now. And as we come into the new year, I can talk to you guys more about that. Also, as a quick aside for anybody who's like, where the fuck do I start? I do this thing every year. I talked about this on Collider Live back in the day, where I take a piece of paper and on the right side, I write all of the places I want to end up, all the things I want to accomplish, not this year, but just in life. You know, I want to host SNL. I want to produce, star, and act in my own TV show. I want to be in an India year, whatever it is, like whatever your list is. And then on the left side, I do every single thing that I'm doing this year or going to do this year to ultimately get me there. And then I try to draw arrows from each thing on the left to everything on the right. And if the things on the left don't exactly correlate with what I ultimately want, which, by the way, a family, a husband, like whatever it is, a steady bank account, whatever the fuck it is. And if the things on the left that I'm trying to do this year can't draw an arrow to the things on the right, then I cut them off my list. So I know that sounds a little complicated, but it's actually really easy. And if you're looking for a way to like work out your resolutions this year, that's a really nice way to be like, are my resolutions this year going to end up with me reaching the goals that I want in life? Because that's what every year you should be doing. Again, I know this probably isn't totally the show for that, but hopefully that helps some of you guys who are looking for a way to do it.
Wow.
I know you're, if I remember correctly, yours was act this for 2020, right, Roxy? And
yeah.
From what I've seen you do, I'm very inspired and glad that you did that this year.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Pandemic throws a lot of people off, but I've been really trying to make sure that I keep up with all of my resolutions, and that one I'm working on. Yeah.
I can't express how proud I have been of you this year, Roxy, when you especially consider that you were thrown. If this year was a baseball game, you were hit by a pitch in the center of your forehead at the start of the fucking game. like everybody was like, oh God, like she's down. And what you have taken from that and turned into your career this year, everything with the World Girls, like you said, the consistency of being on over almost 300 days in a row. You have been killing the game out here. So look, I'm taking notes for everything you just said about how you set goals, because that's actually a really dope way to look at it that I've never even thought of before, and it's clearly paying off for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I think you're doing pretty freaking well, Winston, but I'll take it. Thanks, friend.
For sure. All right. That being said, we do need to get to these Streamlabs for sure. So I want to make sure we do that. So people, please go ahead and do that. Alex, keep sending them in, y'all, but Alex, go ahead and start reading them, man.
And we'll get to our resis later in the week.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'll make
them. I don't want the world to see me, 'cause I don't think that they'd understand. When everything's made to be broken, I just want you to know who I am. Is this the only Goo Goo Dolls song? LOL. Have a good one, people. God bless. Thank you, Senator Failed Orgasm.
Wow.
Do you guys know any other Goo Goo Doll songs? That's my only one I know too.
I mean,
Are you guys insane? I'm obsessed with Goo Goo Dolls. I literally love them so much. Come on, are you guys kidding me? I could name 5,000 songs by them. I go to see them on tour even now to this day. They're a little old, but they still rockin'.
Gonna let it slide. Slide.
Wow.
I don't really know much about the Goo Goo Dolls, so I didn't even know that was their song. I know the song, but I just don't know them.
Winston, I guarantee you know at least 10 songs. Yeah, they're one of those.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I hear you. I hears you.
All right. Next one from Buckless in Seattle. Hello, everybody. Hope y'all are doing well. Hey, Jamal. Not John. Do you think your Sixers, who lost to the freaking Cavs, can beat my Raptors tonight? And let's talk about the Mavs snapping that gauntlet on the Clippers. Like, what the F? Roxy, your Celtics are all right. Thanks, everyone.
All right is the correct word.
All right is the correct word. Yeah, I'm so optimistic about the Sixers this year. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good, especially after how terrible the Eagles were. We need some kind of bright light in Philadelphia, and I think the 76ers are going to be that.
So this is what it's like to be average. This is what it's like. Oh my
gosh.
Well, next one from D-Train. Which of the free agents that was announced yesterday excited you the most? For me, it was by far John Flickinger. I've been clamoring for this guy to appear in the Schmoedown for years. He's one of the best movie pundits, also excited for everyone else. I'm excited for Demi.
And
having not known any of them other than Demi, it would be Demi, and then a close second would be Beth May. Beth May, she just has a kind of an it, and so it was something that immediately stuck out to me. I mean, again, we haven't been made privy to these other folks yet as managers, but I'm sure we will soon. But yeah, so far,
I'll probably destroy them all in a bunch of matches. So
I believe that, actually. I genuinely believe that Brett, now that Zaflirtenflaus,
it's my year.
It's your year, bro. It's your year.
God. John is one of the most passionate people on YouTube about movies. So I've been a fan of his for probably like 8 years, and I think it's really cool that he's getting more involved.
All right, next. Sorry.
Paul Walter Hauser.
Yes, Paul. All right, next one from Tupac Shakur. Welcome back. I just found out that a fella named Ben Goddard did a rendition of California Love. He got the lyrics right. Anyone else want to try it again? How about that RB3 kid, or maybe the Alex? You have very nice songs. Thank you. How about the pretty shorty there? Y'all appreciate you.
Are you the pretty shorty, Roxy? Or are they talking about?
I'm Chunk.
It's always whenever they say the sexy one, I can't decide if it's you or me. It's always a toss up. It's
Chunk.
Thanks, Chunk. All right, next one from Joel from Queens. Dope. I turned 25 on the 31st. Cheers. Happy birthday, Joel. And actually, if you want to, Brett, do you want to have Elmo sing happy birthday to Johnny Patrizia?
Johnny Patrizia, I'm assuming they do not want a traditional birthday, so. Johnny, I just want you happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Don't get the vaccine. 'Cause they're implanting chips in your body and it's the mark of the devil and they're going to have 5G and it's going to take over your life and turn you into a human 2.0. Happy birthday, Johnny.
Oh.
Happy New Year.
Thank you very
Elmo,
much.
no, Elmo,
God.
no.
I'll have to send you all that video we received about it turning people into different humans. It's pretty interesting.
Okay.
boy.
Pretty interesting facts that are being sent around the email threads. Go ahead.
Got it.
All right, next one from 156 Impulse. I agree with Roxy. I love the mall scene. The movie is, in general, okay. I love the first one, and when they announced Wonder Woman 84, I didn't want to go back to 84. I want to see Wonder Woman 2020 or 2025. I'm ready for Wonder Woman 3, present day. Love you guys.
Oh, the mall scene forever. Yeah.
Love it. Justin Square says, so I share a birthday with Nick and Vanessa Lacey, Lou Ferrigno, Cisco, and Star's own Chris Jericho. November 9.
Nice.
Scorpio and Born in the Year of the Dragon. The best two combinations. Also Shannon for Manager and Heel of the Year.
All right, I take back my woo.
Don't play that shit on my show. Do that when Roka's here. Piss Roka off. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to Roxy. What you doing? What you doing?
Yeah. It is unfortunate, I will say this briefly, Winston, that it does feel like if this season stopped a couple of months ago, I think that you were a shoo-in for Manager of the Year. It is clearly people are seemingly making their decisions about the last, only the last month.
Which is, it's rough especially because it's not like obviously we weren't clipping at the same crazy level that we were earlier on, but the fact that we were still at an elite status all the way to the end, and it is a lot of people being like, nah. I'm like, okay, like it's funny. I have to separate because I don't think people know that I'm really competitive because I put on this very like airy persona the whole time, but like it's getting to me in the sense that it's going.
I get that.
It's I know it's not meant for me to I know the whole idea of being a heel is supposed to be very specific to inside the Schmoedown, but it's making me want to be like, man, fuck it, burn it all, and then just go off next year. So
yeah, the truth is though that like by far and away the least important award is Manager of the Year because any manager who's anything just gives a fuck about their competitors.
1,000%. I feel that, but like to be honest with you, as I was looking at all the nominations and as I was listening to people and what they were voting for, how they felt about it, I was getting pissed too when I'm like, why are you not giving no respect to my boy Ace? Why are you not giving no respect to Final Exam? Like, why, like all these other things that people are.
It's hard. They're like our kids. They're like our children. And
they're
like
my babies.
When I hear people talking about mine too, I can't help it. Like it's gutting. It's gutting to hear people not want to. Yeah, I'm having a really hard time with it too.
That's why I've actually taken a massive step back from it. I voted and I don't care anymore and I don't want to hear it anymore because otherwise it just upsets me if I feel like my kids are not getting their just due. It's also probably why I'm realizing I can't ever be like a baseball dad or a basketball dad because I'll be like, the fuck was that, ref? Get your shit together, you bitch ass motherfucker. Like I'm gonna lose my shit and I can't do it.
Winston, you know I'm not a sports guy, but my wife and I have screamed at some other parents, and so, like we turned into animals when my son and daughter were playing soccer. It was just like, what? She's like, "Say we didn't come to calm each other down. We're okay. Then you're good. You're good."
Fam, I'm so worried about it. I'm so worried.
It's tough.
None of
a
this
kid
is
like
gonna
push your kid down or something, like totally in a not appropriate soccer. I mean, you can do these slides and things. I saw a kid straight 3 times push my kid over, and I was just like, "You better pull it!"
Oh my goodness, man.
Guys,
Soccer.
I will tell you guys, Brett's going to be the only one with a job after this show. So at least he'll have that. Because,
keep sending them in. We're a little light today.
We're feeling real light. This is not. I'll
tell you this, Rox. I hope that we get some more before this is out. We got about 15 minutes because we're under 300 right now, y'all. So please help us out. But we did do something magical last Thursday. Last Thursday was kind of ridiculous.
What'd you do?
It was a Christmas miracle.
$2,800.
How'd you do it?
we sang the 12 Days of Christmas, and we all did a different voice for each of the individual items.
I don't know that song. I tried to sing it the other day, and the World Girls jumped all over me because I don't get how the song works.
You just repeat the same one.
I tried. I couldn't get it. It was so fucking frustrating. Also, I was very drunk, so that didn't
Alex, keep going with the Streamlabs, man.
All right, Tongue Punch Fartbox says, I am a man who has never tied his shoes. Wrong. You are a prince who has never tied his own shoes. I tied my own shoes once. It is an overrated experience. Saw C2A for the first time. Roxy, that's coming to America, not call to action. You happy, Winston?
There you go.
Fair enough.
Pac-Man Dwain says, hey guys, hope all is well. I'm not gonna lie, this past week has been tough, but yesterday I went to bed, woke up this morning and saw Brett's mom like my comment on his picture of his family pic. That just brought my spirits up. Aww. So Mom, I know you listen. Thank you.
She'll love that. Love that.
Next one from Tongue Punch Fartbox.
Yes.
Question for the managers. Over under 50% chance you'd use one of your 3 spots to sign someone who wasn't originally on your faction. Merle.
I mean, I don't know. Like I'm at that point where like I've talked to all my players. I've talked to people outside the faction. Like we have made discussions, but that's all I can say about that. Like I'm not really at liberty to say, both because I don't want to ruin anything that we've been talking about, and I also know that Christian will eviscerate me if I say anything. So I'm going to leave it at that. Roxy?
I think the most likely people to do that probably are Kaiser, Kate, possibly Coy. Not sure about that though. Sam. I think that some of us, like, if you are finishing in the top few, then probably you have people on your team that you're looking to really try to stick with. But at the same time, that doesn't mean, I know, Winston, that you're going to do whatever it takes to try to win this next year, and same with me. So you can only bring people with you to do that. Take that how you will.
Mm-hmm. And it's fun. You know, the funny thing is hearing some of the players that like are good where they're at that are like, I feel offended that no one has tried to court me. And it's like, you seem like you're at a happy home. You want me to come and try and like help you like commit infidelity in your Schmoedown faction? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, totally.
I don't know, man.
All right, next one from Dable Nagain. We need a Schmoedown new players free-for-all as the combine for these players. Also, don't forget the other big news, the expanded rosters. Happy New Year, guys.
Yes, two new players on each faction. We are up to 12. The managers all voted on it, and we ultimately ratified it. So we will be having 12. That does put us a little bit above what we had last year, but not by a lot, because we lost technically 10, and now we have gained 16. So we've gained 6 extra slots this year by doing that.
I will say this, one of us between Winston and I voted for this. One of us voted against this. I won't say who was who. And I will also say this, that I was Christian's last phone call. When Christian called me, he said, I am calling you with this vote, but I'm also letting you know that the decision has been made. I said, wow, Christian, how she has fallen to being your last phone call. When you know where you stand with Christian, it is, when you are on top of the mountain, it is the best feeling on the planet. And when you are down in the pits, oh God, that I go, Christian, daggers to my soul.
Roxy, I'm so sorry. I don't.
Daggers.
One for that, but 2, not to cut you off. We've only got 10 minutes, and I know we got a bunch more streamlabs to get through.
All right, yeah, the next one is from Garth Harkness McMurray. I just wanted to hype up Christina Vassallo in the draft. You were wondering about people and how they do in movie trivia? Well, she has videos you can watch and featured presentation, trivia league, and more fan leagues. Look her up on YouTube. She's the best.
Whoa.
All right, next one from Watt Real Entertainment. What's up, guys? So you want to know about the Ranger? Tune in to Spin from the Reel tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Time for the first interview with Rick Radis himself. Be sure to check it out. Thank you very much, Watt. Justin Square says, assuming Winston doesn't take Roxy's invitation to the cookout, Roxy, I ask, what food dish are you bringing? This is a big deal. Bland potato salad with raisins is not a good look. Happy Tuesday.
Excuse me, I learned my lesson. I am bringing booze.
Bingo.
Roxy, how many invitations you want? You want a +1, girl? What you want?
I'm bringing booze and ice. I am only bringing booze and ice to the cookout. Getting my lay of the land.
You the real MVP.
That's it. That's all you got to do. You just get the lay of the land the first time, then the second time, then someone will assign you because
they tried to fucking trick me with this question. They tried to come for me, and I would not let it happen. I listened.
Roxy, you are welcome anytime. Because here's the thing you got to realize, especially being a white person coming to cookout, you got to deal with all the big mamas, all right? And you don't want to piss them off. Be like, who brought in this casserole? Like, just start easy. Booze and ice is great, and then we'll move it up.
Yup. Aye, Captain.
What's next?
Leonard Kim says, shout out to Roxy and Ryan for the DC Movie News reunion. Thanks for the conversation. Ryan, kudos for still being awake and powering through SEN. Roxy, hashtag justice for Roxy's internet. You're awesome in your unique ways.
Yeah, it was
Ben_Rainer donated $20. Hey all, thank you for a great year of shows. I liked Wonder Woman 84. It was a complexity fine and fun movie that I wish had more flushed out, more elements. Do you have a fab film that you've watched for the first time in pandemic? Happy film? New Year, hi Brett.
Do you have a favorite film that we watched for the first time in the pandemic?
Breathless, the Jean-Luc Godard movie.
Oh. Okay. All right.
And Seven Samurai.
The original Lord of the Rings trilogy. I watched it for the first time this year.
Oh, nice.
Wow, I forgot you did that. That's really good. Gross Point Blank.
Oh.
Wow.
Wonderful movie.
Oh, an Upgrade. I watched Upgrade 3 days ago. Holy shit, that movie.
Upgrade.
Holy shit.
It's good.
I saw this movie called Next Goal Wins. It's a documentary about a soccer team, some American Samoa. Taika Waititi's next feature is off of this documentary, and it is amazing. Most heartwarming, wholesome doc I've seen in a while. So that'll be my pick.
I've seen some movies this year. Don't worry about it. Go to the next question.
D-Train says, of all the free agents, who do all of you think has the best odds of getting drafted? To me, Flickinger, Chandler, Eric, and Sonny and Kat are pretty much safe, considering their big YouTube following. Also, if we need to cut players from the active roster in order for most of these free agents to get drafted, I'm all for it. There are some players who have been struggling and have remained winless, so I would like to see more new players be given a chance.
I mean, it'll all depend, because there's, again, I don't know about Roxy, but there's all stuff that we've dealt with our multitude of players top to bottom, and there's some stuff that sometimes you get a bad break on your first match or so, and it's just a matter of like taking that next step. So we will see.
Yeah, I'm looking for people who want me as their manager, and I would like to be reached out to. I will do my fair share of reaching out as well, but the people that I'm going to look at to draft are the people who come and talk to me and explain to me what they're where they lie.
Yep. All right. Keep going, Alex.
Oh, next one from Haunted. This is so interesting to me. Brett, I would not recommend your son watch Pen 15, but there are actors his age in the show playing love interests of the 30-year-old actresses. Would you let him act in this show?
Well, you put me in a real bad place there. You're trying to trick me. I'm bringing booze and ice. That's my answer. I love it.
That is the best response from now on. I think is I'm bringing booze and ice.
That's the I plead the fifth of these conversations.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Yeah, I mean it's hard to say because that's a weird. Yeah, you got me.
Yeah. What else, Alex?
Right. JJ Winward says, just watched Sound of Metal on Amazon last night, and it's my new #1 for the year. Breathtaking film. The sound design is on another level. Speaking of sound, stream Descent by Marzoña on Apple Music and Spotify. Woo! Check it out. Be sad boys with me. Yay! Lloyd Christmas says, you guys want to hear the most annoying sound in the world? Mr. Anus says, I expect a So Sorry Rocks shirt soon.
Oh.
Idea.
So sorry, Chunk.
So sorry, Chunk, yes.
So sorry, Chunk.
It's more proper. All right, going to Super Chat, Super chats, yes. Admiral Anonymous says, Roxy and Winston, it's time for a Bachelor recap show. I love streaming and theater releases. Those who want to go can, those who don't won't. Peace out, 2020.
Rox, real quick, final thoughts on this and the Bachelorette.
Glenn Caesar donated $100.
Wow.
Shout out to you all, you're awesome. Here's to keeping you all on SEN live and a great 2021. Hi Winston, Brett, Alex, Ryan and Chunk. Follow the Whirl Girls on Twitter and Instagram.
Yes, Glenn!
Subscribe to Roxy on YouTube, get her to 20k subs and watch live at the Roxy.
Yeah. In case you're wondering, yes, I was previously at 20K. We've been falling since then. Guys, we need $75 more to ensure that Winston and I don't get canned. That's
fair. In 3 minutes. Wait.
Bachelor?
Yes. What did you think? Final thoughts on the Bachelorette this season?
Wild season. I think that he is so hot. They were all so hot. Yeah. Oh my God. I think he is so fucking sexy.
I disagree. I'm with Winston on this one. Yeah.
Holy shit. He has swagger and I could make out with that face all day. I really, really liked Ivan, but I do think that it's valid if they are not religiously aligned. That makes sense to me. I think that definitely should have come out earlier, though.
I agree with that.
Especially if they went to Bone Town, which it seems like they did. Usually, I wouldn't have. I think that they should have had the conversation first, but
Yeah. Well, maybe the Bachelor's starting up soon, which let me check and see if we don't. If you want to get on this Bachelor draft, Roxy, you let me know. We do a draft and we put money on it. If you're trying to do all that,
I kind of might be. I don't know. This shit has me hooked. I've texted Christian 15 times. Should I go on this show? Am I going on?
Yes, you need to go, please.
But
Jesus.
everybody who legit is Rox, do not do this. You are gonna demo yourself. I'm like, oh no. Oh,
not if
it seems fun. It seems so fun.
Just stay out of the drama. Just stay out of the drama. Just roll through. Just stay out of the drama. I think that you can do it. Do we have any more super chats, Alex? Real quick.
Yeah, Mr. Nico 28 Soccer says, like the video, you knobs. Hey guys. King Dingaling says, in regards to TV, Umbrella Academy is amazing, and I feel like it doesn't get nearly enough love. Best music I've ever heard for a series.
Yeah, loved Umbrella Academy.
Grammy just watched it. She was not a fan.
Oh, really?
Uh-oh.
She did not understand what she was getting herself into.
Where is that YouTube channel?
Right?
Just wait till she watches Normal People. Next one.
I just watched this Umbrella show. What the hell?
What was that, Al?
From The Sting, Eric Whiteley from Blind Wave All Day. The one dude who knows a super ton more about Star Wars than Christian. Easily.
Well, I would say that there's a couple of dudes that Winston and I know who know more about Star Wars than Christian, but,
Last one from Ace Money. Good call bringing the booze to the barbecue. Roxy, don't get tricked into bringing the Kool-Aid. You will not get it sweet enough. Your only option is, if pressed, is to bring some orange or grape drinks.
What aren't you guys
I've been to a lot
understanding?
of barbecues.
Booze and ice. I already know.
Roxy said, don't you try and get her invitation revoked. Roxy is
What are you guys, Spectrum? Trying to fuck me?
Is that the last one, Alex?
That was the last one.
All right,
Right on
into
time.
music, Ryan. Right on time. Thank you so much for joining us on SEN Live. You know we love y'all.
Embrace
Remember,
Your
the rest-
Geekness donated $75.
Thank
If
you.
Carl fires Roxy and Winston over $75, then he deserves what he gets.
There you
Embrace
go.
your geekness.
Embrace your
Embrace
geekness.
that
Thank you.
geekness.
I've already
Embrace
lost
that
so
geekness.
many jobs
To
this
Mike
year.
Primus
Thank you.
donated $75. If I have to work, so do you. Lulz, here is to end of this weird longest short year I've ever experienced.
Thank you.
Just a couple
Thank you.
more days left. Who all is going to watch Mark Ellis live on New Year's?
Oh, hell
Schlong,
yeah.
schlong, schlong balls.
Long,
Also
long,
hydrate.
long balls.
Long balls. Ryan, hit that music again, baby. All right.
you, guys.
Thank you to both of those last donations for helping us get to where we need to go. Appreciate y'all. On top of that, thank you for joining us. Now, remember, the next 2 days, put your top 10 movie and TV lists together. I'll make sure Roka knows. Send those Streamlabs in. Send them those super chats. We want to know what your top favorite is to close out 2020 because it's been one hell of a year. So for Ryan Nilsen, Brett Sheridan, Alex Marzoña, Roxy Striar, I'm Winston A. Marshall, aka the Swaggy Blurred. Watch Schmoedown backstage at 12:30. Watch live at the Roxy. Watch Blurs in the Hood. We love y'all. We out here. Deuces.